I'm recording from my computer. Oh, look at that. Okay. So what I wanted to say, though, regarding that is that it wasn't necessarily all being overwhelmed. That's why, 5 days of it. So when you do have time, I'd love to get somebody's feedback that was on it, that has some sort of takeaway that maybe wasn't overwhelmed. It was something that solved a problem or a solution, or that was a solution that to one of your issues, maybe. Because I think that we started it, and I think that the reason why I did it was everybody was kind of feeling overwhelmed. But I think what it ended up being was kind of a day in the life of me while I was working full time. So for you, I think that it might be valuable at some point to watch or listen to. Actually, you don't need to watch my ugly thing. You can just listen to it, because I really did just go the day in the life of me and how I got, and especially you, as being as busy as you are, I think that you'll take away a whole lot, it wasn't just here's how to not be overwhelmed. This is exactly how I did it. I mean, it's like exactly how I did it. And it not being perfect, So I would definitely still put that on your to-do list.
Okay.
Not a rush, but I would go through them, because I think after the first one you go through, you'll realize, and the way that I broke it down, something that I can use for everyone to feel like, here's the roadmap. This is the roadmap of my last 5 years.
Okay.
So I think that it'll be useful. And I think that in order to get your attention, I use the overwhelmed term, because that's what most people feel, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, you did at one point.
Yeah.
So, I think that was just to get your attention, and I think that what it ended up being was a roadmap. Really. Okay. So does anybody have any questions, though, that did go through some of it? Because I would love to answer. I mean, unless I just gave it all. Anybody?
Well, I didn't have questions per se. I wrote a lot down. And I think I wrote down, and I don't know if this was you that said it or I wrote down, I said, how do we remember our why? And I don't know if that was something you were covering, and how we remember that and why we.
Yeah. Okay. I can touch on that. I did our why on day 2, and really kind of went into detail on day 2 of the importance of your why. And what happens is that we forget our why, because we're so engulfed with the activity of doing this business, of our power of 3 and reaching out to people and inviting people to our challenge groups, and we get and Success Club points and rank, and we get so involved in that we forget why we started. And so it was how do we get back to that? And it's really just putting it on paper and putting it in front of you, but really sitting down thinking about what that why may be. And it may change. My why changed as I went along. My why originally was to pay for a few things. Actually, it was just to get a discount. And then it was to pay for a few things. And then it just evolved once I saw that it was possible, and I was starting to pay for those things. So it was like, okay, well, what does this all mean? So, and I went over, there was a book, Start With Why. That was one of the recommendations. Because we do just get so engulfed in it that it just happens, just like we tend to forget to do our personal development. That tends to go on the back burner, or our workouts tend to go on the back burner. Our why tends to go on the back burner because it's not in front of us every day. So how to remember that is you just need to put that in front of you. You need to write it down. And that's where I kind of went through, my big Post-it note thingies.
Yeah.
Back there. I mean, I have those things written down in my gym, really, because I see that while I'm working out, and it reminds me of what I'm doing, what my goals are. Currently I have, up in my gym, I will hit elite, because it's so hard this year for me. that I need to constantly remind that. That's not necessarily my why, although I did reach my why and I am here, you know, having the freedom, and that was always my why for, you know, 4 years. It's a struggle to find the next one. But for me, I know that if I hit elite by the end of the year, then that means that my team, you guys, are hitting your goals. And so ultimately right now, my why is for you guys to hit your goals. But for me to measure that, it would be for me to hit elite, because that means that I have to look at all different things, meaning I need to look at, you know, new coaches that start, and how do I get them started right, and, you know, how do I get them to understand how this business works and the importance of Success Club, and, you know, really it comes down to the why to drive you to hit Success Club. So if they're hitting Success Club, then they're closer to their goals, right? They're closer to their financial goals because they realize, wait a minute, I just helped 3 people. I just got 5 Success Club points. And that means I just earned enough money to pay for my Shakeology. And for me, that's another elite point. So it's an easy way for me to measure that you're succeeding. So, so I have that up on my gym. You know, when I work out, I look at it. I also have, this is my journey. This is my journey. This is my journey. You know, it's my race. Or no, I say it's my race, because it's and you guys, it's all your own race. You know, this whole, you know, what you're doing, why you're doing it. It's all your race and nobody else's. So it's very easy to get distracted by others and not knowing even how long they've been doing it, right? It's very easy to distract yourself. And you just have to remind yourself, just like you remind yourself of your why, you remind yourself that it's your own race. However long it's going, like for me, however long it's going to take me, it's going to take me. However long it's going to take me to leave my day job so that I can be home with my family was my own race. And I had to really stop distracting myself. So I remind myself of that up on my big list now. So I just went off on a tangent as far as the why goes, but those are the things to kind of remember and, you know, re-trigger, especially when you start to get frustrated with, like, there was a period of time where, and I think I went through this one of the days, was I've talked about it on another team call, where I was plateaued and I made the same amount of money every single week for an entire year. And I was totally plateaued. And there were a lot of things that I threw out the window, which was personal development and was working out. And I was unmotivated. And once I put those back into place,
you have to show yourself.
I was able to push past that plateau. So you have to constantly remind yourself of those things, because it's very easy to forget them, especially when you're in a funk, because you're like, what am I doing? I feel like I'm doing the same thing, or I'm doing it, but you're not. So having those reminders and those, you know, Post-it notes are really helpful, especially with your why, because it will remind you what, you know, why you're even doing this, why are you even spending the extra time, why you're sitting here on a Sunday night. You know, like I could be at dinner with my family, but I made a commitment on Sunday nights to run a team call. In fact, I had that conversation with Heather, and she said, you know, I have a hard time because it's Sunday night and I really enjoy family night with my family on Sunday night. And I obviously respect that, because a big thing with this coffee with Anna was, you know, understanding your boundaries and balancing your life. And what would you do in that time frame? Well, I completely respect that. And that's why I'm not giving her a hard time for not being here. But for me, I wanted to make a commitment to start your week off the right way. And since Team Victory already has a call on Monday night, the only way to get your week started right is on a Sunday evening where it's not too late, and I'm not digging into family time, because I make a commitment during the middle of the week to sit down with my family and not spend time on phone calls or videos, or, you know, so setting those boundaries is important. And I have no idea where I was going with that, but anyways. My God. Anyways, okay, but I appreciate you sharing that, because I think that's incredibly important. That's why we spent a whole day on the why.
Yeah.
Okay. So does anybody either have questions or like you, David, where you had notes and you were like, what is
Come on,
I
Ari.
don't remember what this meant. Anybody? I'm going to scroll.
What?
Okay. Okay. So nobody has questions.
I had just one more thing I wanted. It's more of a comment again. And it's, you were talking about getting rid of some of those things that make you busy and things like that. And you hired even though it was kind of difficult, you hired someone to clean your house because you didn't want. For me, it's I probably spend like 2 hours ironing my shirts because I have to have those perfect creases that I learned in the military, and I can't go out with that.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking, I'm going to find a dry cleaner and just get that.
How much? Yeah. How much is your time worth?
Yeah, I mean,
how much is your time worth? Exactly.
I spend probably 2 hours making sure all my work shirts are just perfectly because I want to look that good, but
right.
I just go to the dry cleaner.
Right. And you have goals, right? So are the 2 hours that you spend, are those 2 hours getting you closer to your goals?
No. I look nice. I would say it looks nice.
No, right. But when you look at it on paper.
Yeah. After a 45-minute drive in the car, I'm wrinkled again, so I don't know.
So when you go to the dry cleaner, you're going to take a picture and you're going to hashtag WWAD. And you're going to put it on my wall. I'm telling you. It's the most fun thing. The other thing, too, is I love that people are doing that and they're putting it in the coffee group. But if you put it on my wall, not only does it makes people curious. Your friends see that and they're like, what is this thing? So it helps you out. And it's fun, and this is one of those things that I've been really working on for the last year, and you guys all probably noticed this, but the more that we do fun things like that outside of our Facebook groups, the better it is for you guys, because it creates this environment that people, and I talk about this too in the calls, but it creates an environment where people want to be a part of. They want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. So they see you're having all this fun, and you're like hashtagging, what is this hashtag that you keep doing? So it's like the TVAS and the WWAD. And what's fun about the WWAD is that nobody understands what it is, because it's a picture of usually somebody, like right now, recently, spending time with their kids and doing something, or putting something down and spending time with their family. Well, that outside of our group creates curiosity. So it, we're talking about not just being all fitness and health, right? This is an opportunity to be surrounded by amazing people, to really just change your life in just your daily life, right? So by having fun and creating this buzz outside of the group,
with everybody else,
creates traction for you guys as far as curiosity by those people that are watching you, and they're watching you, even though you don't realize it. They are watching you, because it's those ones that you least expect, and a lot of you know this already, that have been doing this long enough. It is the ones that you least expect to come to you, because you didn't even think that they even were on Facebook. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't think you were on Facebook. You are really seeing those things. So the more that we do fun things, so yeah, David, like, find that moment where you're like, wait a minute, I'm going to be spending these 2 hours, on my Power of Three, or on my personal development, or with my family, because those are the important things to me. And pay somebody to do your creases, please. I mean, at first it felt selfish, where the house cleaner I've always had, and I don't feel selfish about that at all, because I just I don't want to be in a messy house, but the laundry girl and the girl that same girl that comes and picks up, it was every other week, and it turned in, now it's every week for 4 hours. It's like, that money that I spend is money that is just so precious to me. Like, I'll work an extra, I'll work harder to pay for that because I know how valuable that time is, that I don't have to worry about. It's actually time and stress. Here's my headband. Time and stress that I don't have to worry about picking up stuff when I get home. All my stuff is put away. And I actually, what for me, it's really nice because this young lady has a job every week for 4 hours and she earns $60 and she takes pride in her work and she gets to bring her 3-year-old here so she doesn't have to pay for daycare. And so I'm able to provide that to her, and in turn, I walk in and have peace of mind, and it's one less thing that I have to worry about, and I can enjoy my life and, do what I want to do. So, it did take me a long time to get to that point, but I will not change it. If she ever quits on me, I will be devastated. I will be finding somebody else. But she just takes pride in her work, and it makes me I feel bad only paying her that much because she's really here for more than 4 hours, and it's like, sorry, Anyways. Okay, I appreciate you sharing that too, because yes, you are. If you find yourself questioning, what am I spending my time on? And this is, Joania, this is actually for you, because especially because your time is so precious, and you have these little bits of time that you can even use. If you this is the whole WWAD. If you're sitting there going, and I know you're already doing this because I know you already. If you're sitting there, like the picture I put in the coffee group, if you're on a train and you're sitting there staring into space, you've got a problem because you should be doing something. But that's your human nature. I know that for you, because that's just you. There's no way you can survive in your life every day without finding those little bits of time.
Right.
So
I've been finding the time to do it, and I've been knocking it out. Like what happened? Like the light bulb just went on. I'm like, what took so long for this light bulb to go on? Yeah. Where it was like 10, I'm stopping at 10, power of 10, done. Yeah. And the next day, done. Texting when I can. It's crazy. Yeah, exactly. And I've seen this kind of weight lifted off of people. It really is amazing. Mm-hmm. You can see this weight lift, this pressure lifted. It's like this business is not meant to be pressured. Right. It's not meant to be this like crazy extra thing. Even though you look in and it on the surface looks like, oh my gosh, there's so much here. Mm-hmm. That actually is a good thing. Mm-hmm. Like imagine, think of if you join this adventure and you logged in your back office and there was like nothing there, which is exactly how it was 5 years ago. Nothing there. Our website sucked. That's why I went in and built my own website. We had zero training, and there was no guidance. Nobody knew what they were doing. This is exactly what it was. And I don't think I went through this in the calls, but it was they were taking the traditional MLM route, which I didn't even know anything about MLMs, but it was get on a 3-way call with your upline sponsor and invite people. And I was like, are you kidding? I'm going to go say, hey, can you get on a call with my upline sponsor? Like, talk about salesy, right? But no any different because it was this whole network thing was new, and everybody doing it had never had any sales experience. So they were just going based on, those few MLM people that were in it from the beginning because that's what they were used to. And it was like, wait a minute, this is not right. And so it was really hard. So now, the good thing is you could go in there and like find training for anything because it's developed. And so, again, it's a frame of mind. You look at being overwhelmed differently. You just call it busy. Or you look at, all of this information in your back office. Heck yes, I have all this information whenever I need it. I don't need to memorize anything. I can just go there when I need it. All I need to do are these few things that they're telling me to do. Power of 3, right? Invite, message, blah, blah, blah. And run a challenge group. And if I have a question, because somebody asks me, then I know where to go. As you just have to be a resource You need to be an expert at finding your resources, and it's not very far to go. YouTube, Google, back office. That's it. You do the power of 3, you do your workouts and your personal development, and go to bed. Spend time with your family, right? Don't sit on a train and do nothing, whatever you do. Or don't sit in the doctor's office and read a magazine. There you go.
Or crease your shirts.
Or crease your shirts. Please. I will come to your house. I will be like jumping up and down when you post on my wall. Like, look, I brought them all to the dry cleaner. Check it out. Okay. Does anybody else have anything about the coffee talk or, getting things done? Because I'll go over a couple more things before we hang up. But I want to, since we're on live, I'm looking to see who's on. There. It was a little loud there for a second. Okay. Okay, wait a minute here. You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. This is how I work, right? Multitasking. Holy crap. I have my phone in one hand and my computer over here. I'm gonna mute everybody if I can find there. There we go. I'm unmuted. Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up? Yes. Okay. All right. This is amazing. This is crazy. How do you do it, Anna? I don't know. I just do it. Look, there's my dog. The beast. Okay. He's hungry and I have no food at home. That's how you do it. You don't feed your animals. All right. Sorry. Okay. I wanted to go get you started for the week, right? Based on whatever you've got. Okay. So if you're in the Emerald to Diamond group, we're starting tomorrow. If you're an Emerald coach, you filled out the application. We accepted you. It's going to be intense, but not in a bad way, because if I say it's intense, it's not intense. It's busy, right? It's not busy work. It's reaching your goals. Okay. So Emerald to Diamond starts tomorrow. National Wake Up Call first thing in the morning. It's recorded for anybody that's on here. I see you guys, so I know that there's new coaches on here. National Wake Up Call is a non-negotiable. It's recorded. I also wanted to remind you guys that there's a document in the team page that we had created for those that were going through the National Wake Up Call archive. I've made it a point in the last year to never miss a National Wake Up Call for a reason, and this is coming from somebody that's been doing it a long time, okay? So if you follow the people that are most successful, I learned this from Brigitte Limford, and she's never missed a National Wake Up Call, and I was like, well, shoot, I feel bad now because she's like amazing. So I made it a point, I'm never missing a National Wake Up Call. So in the team page, there's a document that's got the archive of all the team calls. If you happen to go back and listen to an archive call, what I would appreciate you guys doing is going in that document and filling in the highlights from that call so that we can have a whole spreadsheet filled with highlights. And I know not everybody knows this because it was posted in the team page, and it's hard. Sometimes it scrolls and you miss it. So if you didn't know about it, it's there. National Wake Up Call archive. And if you're listening to an archived call that hasn't been filled in, please go in there, put your name in there, and put the highlights of the call, which would be really helpful. And those of you that haven't listened to all of them can go in there and look at anybody that has done the highlights. I know it's not full. We need some help with that document, let me tell you. But all of those calls, anybody that's been on a call knows how amazing they are. So find a topic that you like and go in there and listen to it. If you're sitting there doing nothing and need some personal development, listen to a National Wake Up Call. Okay. Fall Classic, also, you guys, Heather's got that group going. We talked about not overwhelming you guys, because we've got the Emerald to Diamond group going and we've got a lot of stuff going on. That group is really just, kind of to keep each other accountable. Keep close with your success partner. Post your Success Club points in that group. I think the focus for October is really finding that success partner or finding multiple success partners, because they make a huge difference. And those of you who found your success partner or partners know how amazing it can be. And so October is really that focus, and that's what that Fall Classic is all about. So we've got those. And then for those that are not in the Emerald to Diamond group, we are going to be doing business opportunity webinars that are supplementing the Emerald to Diamond group, but they will be posted in the team page for you to invite to. There's a new, slideshow that we'll do a business opportunity webinar. The goal is to do the first one this week, so put that in your notes if you are talking to anybody about coaching or think that anybody would be great at coaching. Chances are it's going to be Wednesday night this week. If it's not this week Wednesday night, it will be next week Wednesday night. But my goal was to do one last week and it didn't happen, so it's on the books for Wednesday night. Okay. So make sure that you know that. You can invite people to that. I'm going to go back to doing the webinar and not the Coach at a Glance group, because what I found is that having a deadline and getting people on there, even though it's recorded and it'll be on my website, you get people there. The Coach at a Glance was great in the beginning, and then people stopped checking it. That's it, because there was no deadline, really. It's a great resource, but the business opportunity webinars, we're going to try and hold them at least once every 2 weeks, if not once a week, which would be amazing if we could. I'm not, don't count on it, but it's that important. And even if you're not in the Emerald to Diamond group, then you can still take advantage of those. I'm looking at my calendar and making sure I'm not missing anything. Business Stop, Emerald to Diamond. And you guys all know that there is 2 parts to new coach training now. I talked about it on the coffee talk, but not everybody has gone through that. So there are 2 parts to new coach training. One is called the first 2 weeks, 2 weeks to success, part 1. And then once you finish that and do your first free group, then you graduate and go into the part 2, which really was our old new coach boot camp. But I broke it down, and for those of you that were not on the coffee talk, the reason why I broke it down was the success of new coaches coming out of the gate without sitting in training. What happened was people were sitting in training for 30 days, and then by the end of 30 days, they talked themselves out of this. Like, I don't have the confidence to do it. I don't want. So I started to change things and have people, and some of you know this because you went through this, have you do a free group right out of the gate. And we were having a private conversation with all of new coaches. So basically what this 2 weeks to success is this private chat that we would have, but someone can do it at their own pace. Ideally, it's the first 2 weeks of their business. So your goal is to get your first free group up and running by the first week. And that group is basically how you do it, why you do it, everything that has to do with setting up a free group, the templates, everything, by the end of that first week. And then the second week is really how you work with that free group. What do you do? How do you talk to people? And then what to expect outside of that. And as you all know that have gone through the free group, there's definitely that first free group is a training process, right? Everybody that's done a free group, thumbs up if you feel that was a training process, that very first free group you did, right? It was not perfect, right? Not perfect at all. It is part of training, and that is what I want to stress, because most people, and you guys know this because you guys were part of it too. Most people that do their first free group, they feel that they failed because it wasn't perfect, right? There you go. So that first free group is part of training. And then the second week of that first 2 weeks to success is how to deal with the free group and what to expect. So then once you graduate from that, then you kind of get into the details of things and you understand conversations. So some people say, I wish that I knew that before I was invited to the free group. But if you knew that before inviting you to the free group, chances are you would have done things differently and you would have sat in training and not done it. So the process is really to learn how to do it and then understand why and perfect it and get better at it. And so the second free group, you really have learned a lot just based on those conversations. And you cannot fail in any free group because what you're doing is you're giving somebody something for free and they're appreciative of it. Even if you're flubbing and you're like, forget to post one day and you just, I mean, it happens. But everybody that's joined you is appreciative of the fact that you're going out of your way to run something. So anyway, so that the first 2 weeks, that is standard now on this team. You get your new coaches in that first 2 weeks. It's a group just like our old group where it's at your own pace, but it's only 2 weeks worth of training. And the way you get into the next group is you run your first free group. Or you can run a paid group, a Beachbody Challenge group, but that's not typically what happens. And then once you get in the other one, then you learn more about the Beachbody Challenge group, more about, how to earn money, how to, change rank and all of that fun stuff. But I wanted everybody to know that that's really standard across the board. I'm not changing it. It's just, our team works really well at self-paced training. Okay, so it's your job as the upline coach to know where everybody is at in their training. But it's very easy to do that because they comment below when they finish the module or they've graduated and there's instructions on sorry, my battery went low. There's instructions on, tag your upline coach if you're finished with this 2 weeks training so that they can add you to the next group. So I really wanted to kind of make sure that everybody understood that. If your coach is your upline coach is a diamond or star diamond, check with them, and they're not me, check with them first. They may have their own version of this. But most people are plugging into my training, but there are definitely some on this team that have their own. That's a version of this. So check with them if they're not me. And they'll tell you either use Anna's or here's mine. I think that's it. Oh, I wanted to just tell we talked about we've talked about scheduling out your month and how important it is, right? Scheduling out what week of the month you run a free group every month. What week of the month you run a paid group. And I'm looking up at my calendar. So what I wanted to go over with you, if you haven't been on the Coffee Talk, was my plan for this fourth quarter. So I have a challenge group that starts tomorrow. That is, I run 30-day groups, because I put everybody out of my 30-day groups back into my accountability group once they're done with 30 days, even if their program is longer than 30 days. But my plan is, and some of you that were around during the PIO launch, was I ran a 21-day PIO prep group, okay? And that got a whole lot of excitement because the anticipation of PIO is so big. So my 21-day PIO prep group was actually a 21-day fix group. There's for a reason, because I did the 21-day fix while I went through the PIO test group, and I knew how important it was. So the reason I'm telling you that is that Insanity Max 30 comes out the first week of December. So I'm going to be running a 21-day Insanity Max prep group in November. but I'm going to start promoting it with an event, thanks to Virginia, with an event at the end of October. So I already have it on my calendar. So my point is, you guys map out October, November, December. October, I'm running this group. At the end of October, I'm going to start talking about my 21-day Insanity Max 30 prep group and inviting. In November, I'm going to run that because it's 21 days, which I'll probably run for 30 days. And that will automatically lead into the Insanity Max 30 launch, which is the first week of December. So if you guys want an amazing Christmas, then you're going to prepare for that. And you're not going to be on your heels come December 4th or 5th or whatever day that is. Going, okay, now it's time to talk about Insanity Max 30. We have everything laid out. Okay, so now I'm going to take it one step further. So I've got your fourth quarter all laid out, right? Insanity Max 30 comes out the first week of December. Let's say the challenge group actually starts the second week of December, and it's 60 days. So it goes most of December, most of January. Well, guess what comes out February? 21-day fix extreme. Next program. So you're leading these people into a 21-day fix prep group so that they understand how to eat right. Okay. Then they go into Insanity Max 30 in December so they can get through the holidays feeling amazing, because people just absolutely love Insanity. And I'm telling you, this workout is, even for a non-cardio lover, I'm going to do this workout. So that will pull them through the holidays. They know how to eat right. Now you're getting them working out, feeling great through the holidays, which they never do. Coming into January, feeling amazing, and then into February. So you basically have mapped out, their first few months. And just like when you're talking to people and you're inviting people, feel free to share your plan, because you're helping them picture themselves, right, at the end of February. Because February, that's a 21-day workout program that's going to shred you. So you've already worked up to that. So at the end of February, in the spring, how are these people going to feel? Like completely different people, right? So it's really important to think 3 steps ahead and not think reactionary. And this is what's so great about Beachbody now, is that we have these events that they give us just enough heads up of what's coming out for a reason. So you guys are all ready to go. Okay, so then come January, there's going to be Super Saturday, January 10th, and there will be more announcements. So that'll bring you from the spring into the summer, and then Summit is in the summer. And as also Cancun is in the spring. So, there's always, so if you pay attention to the map and you have a 2-month calendar, map it out, because you know what? That's one less thing you have to stress about. You already know, I'm going to start this group on this day. I'm going to start inviting on this day. I'm going to run a free group here so that I can gain more trust, more value to the people that don't understand what I have going on. And then, talk to them about getting more long-term results. All right. So that's what I really wanted to cover, because I think that that's really super important. And it's, again, talking about, not being overwhelmed. It's all mapped out. And then we just get better at talking to people. We get better at adding new people, because if you're doing the Power of 3, you're adding new people. You're meeting new people. And for those of you that are new, half of that made sense, and half, you'll learn all of that in training in your first 2 weeks of success, because we talk about the Power of 3 in that group. So that's it. I'm going to unmute 1 second here on this computer. Here, unmute. All right. Woo. Does anybody have any questions for me based on that calendar map out that I just did?
Could you take a picture of your calendar, or did you already for October?
No, I haven't, but I will, and I'll post the group. Yeah, I
That
will.
really helps out.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, I'll take a picture of it. I I have to do my November. I have
Yes.
October and September still. So
Yeah,
I'll
how
do my
about you?
November and I'll take a picture of it.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
No problem. Anybody else?
I have a lot of questions, but I'm not even going to ask now because I have a lot of stuff to go through still.
I know. I'm looking at you.
you.
I'm looking at you knowing exactly where you're at. So hopefully that just eased your mind that don't worry about it. This is all laid out and
Yeah.
it's always a
And understand or not, I'm just going to keep, being on these calls and listening and doing whatever. So I'll catch up.
exactly. And you have a team of support. So not just me. It's all of these guys that have gone that are ahead of you guys, that are ahead of you, a few steps, a few more steps, maybe only a couple steps. Everybody is here. Especially
We're all family here, so I mean, we're not strangers. We're all family.
yeah,
So
exactly.
no one's available. Pop the question. Someone's going to answer you.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep. All right. Let's see. Anybody else? You guys all have your calendars mapped out?
For October, yeah.
I like
For
that.
October, yeah.
For October.
Okay,
yeah.
and then, one more thing. Leader of the day. We still have the days mapped out for this week, right?
Yeah.
So if you're on that list, don't forget to look at which day you're on, and then I'll
Monday.
continue that. Are you guys liking that?
Yeah.
Okay, even with the little twist this month is a little bit more of sharing what's helpful to the leader versus their story, since we got to know a lot of people last month. I want to continue this, but I want to keep it fresh still, because I think that this has probably been the biggest team builder thing that we've done. Do you agree? Because
Yes.
you've gotten
Yeah.
to know people that wouldn't necessarily step up and talk. So I think it's made a huge difference,
That would be me.
and that would be you.
Yeah, I did a little sneak peek. I videoed my first leadership for tomorrow, but it took me like maybe 5 takes or 4 takes because I didn't like it. But anyway, I
Look
hope you all enjoy it.
It takes me one take because I don't, it's like, it's not going to be perfect. I am who I am.
I had a tie on and everything, and then I wound up taking it off. And
Okay, well then that's acceptable. Just be you. That's exactly it. Just be you.
Yeah.
Because
You.
we love that. Like, I love to get on and see what Joanna is doing. Sometimes she's cooking, baking. Sometimes,
Or doing
Right?
homework.
oh, now she's doing homework, right? So that's why I love these Zoom calls, because we could just do it on the phone, but it's fun to see where everybody's at, even though it's just, like you're at home, So don't be perfect. Just get it up there. One take.
yep.
I mean, how many videos have you seen of me doing it in the seat of my car? Like,
Maybe.
do upload. That's it, right? It's easier to talk that way, and you can just see we're all alike. There's nobody's better than the other. It's just we all are all the same, and we all have our flaws, and we all try and get better. And I think it's relieving to know that, like, I certainly am not perfect. I've just been in it longer. That's it. I've just invited more people because I've been doing it longer. There's no difference.
We should just get over ourselves, right?
Exactly. You got it. You got it. You got that on your very first team call.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So have a good night. I'm looking forward to this week. And that's it.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night, guys.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Picture. We need a screenshot.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yes.
I'm going to take a screenshot. Let me put, oh my God, this is so funny.
You can't break the tradition. You got to keep it going.
Okay.
Good stuff.
I'm putting my phone down. And now I'm over.
Mole check. I see your calendar.
You see part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna get this.
Are we this way?
Hold on.
I'm wearing a shirt tonight. So.
Good job.
You guys are all prepared for your. How many we
I'm in
have?
my usual attire, my pajamas.
Okay, there we go. All right, ready? Wait, hold on one second. I have my blank screen. That's so funny. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Ready? Go.
It's just enough.
Hold on. Oh my God, present!
How do you do
There
it?
we go. Got it.
Yeah.
That was a lot of work.
I know. It's so not spontaneous. I'm sorry. Okay.
All right. have
I'll
a
see
good
you
night,
guys later. Bye.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.